Dear friends in Shawal Marha Secondary Schools, peace be upon you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are going to continue or complete our unit number 1, new student book. Under the title of You Have Got Mail. This is Mr. Salah talking to you from your school. Unit number 1, exercise number 11. Secondary stage. Your student book page number 15 and 16. Workbook page number 6. For meaning and function. Today is the 1st of February 2021. Let's go. Okay. With mega goal number 1. For meaning and function. Simple past with use to. We'll have some examples and questions after that. Number 1, use used to for past stages, habits, and situations that are no longer true. Morse, the inventor of the telegraph system, used to be. Concentrating this phrase, used to be a professor at New York University. He used to teach. Again, he used to teach arts and design. For example, number 2, people used to communicate by telegraph. Telegraph companies used to dispatch telegraphs by train across the United States. So we have used to be, used to teach, used to communicate. The first one, we used it with the past stages, with states, habits. Number 1, habits. 2, used to teach every day, this is a habit. Number 3, people used to communicate by telegraph, it's a situation. Okay. So, can you give me an example with yes and no questions? Okay. Did you used to have a blue car? Yes, I did. Did you used to pay football every week? No, I didn't. Okay, the second part is used to and what. We can also use would in place of used to. Would in place of used to for past habits. Only for past habits. But I have exception. But we cannot use would for past states. Only habits, not states. For example, in ancient times, people would shout messages. People used to have very powerful voices in those days. Incorrect example. People used to have very powerful voices in those days. Again, people would have very powerful voice. It's not correct. Right? What about the information questions? We talked about yes and no questions. Now, it's time for information questions. For example, number 1. How did people in the American used to transmit messages? The answer, they used to smoke signals. How did Americans used to transmit? Used to transmit. 2. Why did, I'm asking here about information. Why did people used to shout from signal towers? Why did people